You know, censors, if you wanted to demoralize me, you failed.
Go suck a dick, suck a dick, suck a motherfucking dick. Suck a dick, suck a huge or small.
Hey there, everyone. It's that time of the year where we talk about how the puritanical assholes are trying to censor our entertainment. For the millionth time. Today we're diving into a massive storm that's been shaking up the gaming and online content world over the past few weeks. It's a wild saga involving censorship, payment processors, activist groups, and even new laws. We're talking about CollectiveShout, Visa, Mastercard, itch.io, and Steam, and YouTube, and a controversial UK ID requirement. Buckle up because this is about freedom, creativity, and who gets to control what you see online. Let's break it all down. I'm sure if you're in our weeb/gamer circle, you've heard of this situation already. Basically, the age of the internet as we know it is in jeopardy, as well as the entertainment we are allowed to consume. Several great YouTubers like Madam Savvy and SmashJT have already talked about this ad nauseum. Be sure to subscribe to them when you get the chance. Thank you both for standing up for our rights. It all kicked off in early July 2025, when an Australian activist group called CollectiveShout dropped a bombshell. They sent an open letter to major payment processors like Visa, Mastercard, PayPal, and others, demanding they stop processing payments for platforms like Steam and itch.io. Why? They claimed these platforms were hosting games with themes of rape, incest, and child abuse.
Oh yeah!
Now, CollectiveShout is a group focused on fighting the sexualization of women. And they've had success before, like getting a game called No Mercy pulled from Steam. But this time, they went big. Like, really big. I mean so big that it's probably bigger than Dwayne "The Rock's" Johnson. They targeted thousands of games, many of which were legal adult titles. Their campaign led to over 1,000 emails and calls to payment processors, putting massive pressure on these companies. The result? Payment processors sending email to staff at various game companies who hosts adult content. Steam was forced to comply and removed thousands of games from their platform in order to counter any revenue loss.
No!
The payment processors threatened the removal of payment if they continue to host these games. By July 20th, itch.io, a haven for indie games, caved under this pressure as well. They de-indexed hundreds, possibly thousands of adult games from their search and browsing features to comply with demands from Visa, Mastercard, and Stripe. The reasoning? Protect their payment infrastructure. Without Visa or Mastercard, their platform couldn't function. And yeah, they're right. Imagine not getting paid for any of your hard work. Steam, with its 132 million monthly users, wasn't spared either. By July 16th, they updated their rules to comply with payment processor standards, delisting tons of adult-themed games. But here's the kicker. Games like Mouthwashing, a horror title, got caught in the crossfire, even though they weren't pornographic.
I fear no man, but that thing, it scares me.
Why? Because the rules were vague, and platforms were scared of losing payment processing. Visa and Mastercard, though, played the plausible deniability card. Mastercard said, "We haven't evaluated any games or required restrictions. We just follow the rule of law."
Bullshit!
Visa echoed, claiming they don't make moral judgments on legal purchases.
Bullshit! Bullshit! Bullshit!
But their vague policies about illegal adult content or brand risk gave banks and platforms enough fear to act preemptively. It's like they said, "We're not censoring. Do what we say or else." So creativity as we knew it died? Or had it really? You see, this entire situation sparked a worldwide campaign to pressure Visa and Mastercard's phone lines to reverse their terrible actions. If collective shit. Oops. I mean, collective shitheads, excuse me for that. If collective shitheads could do it, then so could gamers around the world. Gamers flooded Visa and Mastercard's phone lines, sent emails, and made a Change.org petition that hit 250,000 signatures in a matter of weeks. People were celebrating the fact that we were pressuring Visa and Mastercard so much, hell, even Elon Musk jumped in, saying bravo, and pushing for alternative payment systems on X. Let's hope that becomes a reality soon, so this never happens again. Across the pond, in the 8-bit land of the United Kingdom,
Who the starts a conversation like that?
a new law under the Kids Online Safety Act was made. It pushed for mandatory age verification and ID checks across the internet to protect kids.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Sounds noble, but critics say it's a privacy nightmare. It has forced YouTube and other platforms to force user verification via an ID system, killing online anonymity and leading to over-censorship. Imagine needing to upload your ID just to watch a YouTube video or play a game. It's literally 1984. Well, like, dude, what the actual fuck?
I can't believe you've done this.
Between CollectiveShout forcing payment processors to censor games, the United Kingdom forcing ID verification, and various websites following suit, it seems like we're headed for an actual regressive age of the internet and the entertainment we are allowed to enjoy. This drama isn't just about games. It's about who controls your freedom online. Payment processors, activist groups, and governments are flexing their muscles, and it's affecting gamers, creators, and anyone who values the open and free internet. So, what do you think? Should platforms fight harder? Are alternative payment systems the answer? I have so many thoughts about this. If you know me well, you'll know that there is nothing I absolutely despise more than censorship. If it's coming from the woke left or the religious right, I hate all forms of censorship. Period. Even for content I don't particularly like, I stand by the fact that we should all be allowed to express ourselves when it comes to fictional content without any constraints whatsoever. But of course, as mentioned before, this is more than just about fictional content. The UK seems to be doing everything it can to censor anyone talking about its current migrant crisis. What a cuck of a country.
You suck.
But the story doesn't end there. There have been quite a lot of events that followed all of this while editing this video. Typical Starlight being slow. I know. I'm sorry. The gaming community intensifies its response to the CollectiveShout campaign. Ex-users like at Madam Savvy highlight CollectiveShout's admission that their pressure on payment processors led to Steam's rule changes after the platform ignored earlier emails. Developers like Kara Cadaver make their games free to protest bans, and Geog offers a free bundle of 13 adult games, downloaded by over 1 million users. Itch.io continues to face backlash for de-indexing thousands of NSFW games on its platform, but they reiterate that the changes were necessary to protect payment infrastructure, but announces efforts to re-index free adult games and explore alternative payment systems to reduce reliance on Visa, Mastercard, and Stripe. Perhaps they can introduce a point purchasing system where you can purchase games with points instead of directly paying for content that Visa and Mastercard dislike. DLSite already does this, mind you. It's not easy to download games with PayPal, so instead PayPal users can purchase points on the website that are used to buy the games hosted there. It's a nice workaround. The payment processor gets to stay ignorant on what you use the points for, and you get to watch your Genshin waifus get NTR'd. It's a win-win.
Fuck you! Fuck you, fuck you! Fuck you!
And that leaves us with our current situation. The unknown future will continue, as Final Fantasy VII Remake put it. God, I hate what they did to my favorite game. But I digress. Currently, we don't know what the future holds. The pressure on the payment processors are definitely at an all-time high, with the constant calls to their office, the petition with over 200,000 signatures, and even this conveniently timed executive order from Donald Trump. I bet you someone in his cabinet is a huge gamer. All of this combined gives me hope that this will force Visa and Mastercard to course correct and stop threatening to deny payment processing to these websites. You are not the government. You are a payment processor. All you need to do is allow me to buy whatever I want. Nobody needs you to tell them what they can or can't buy. But why did all of this happen in the first place? Well, CollectiveShout was the catalyst for the censorship drama. But in all honesty, they seem to have nothing to do with the horrible situation in the UK right now. It just so happens that this is all happening at the same time. It seems like a huge coincidence, but to many, it's all a coordinated effort to strip us of our freedom slowly down the line. In any case, let's talk about CollectiveShout now. I'm sorry, I mean the collective shitheads.
Because you too is where the truth is.
CollectiveShout is an Australian feminist organization founded by this dumb bitch. It describes itself as a non-profit movement dedicated to combating the objectification of women and sexualization of girls in media, advertising, and popular culture. In other words, they hate fun and want to let the whole world know about it. They believe fictional content such as hentai and other gooning material will lead to the normalization of the sexualization and abuse of women.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Some may argue that this outlook might be somewhat reasonable thanks to a lot of the ways women get treated in today's society. But as a hardcore believer of fiction not affecting reality, I strongly disagree that hentai material will contribute to the normalization of illegal activity. Do I have to bring up Grand Theft Auto again? Violent video games argument in the Big 25, you guys. Jesus Christ. However, there are tons of women who disagree with this outlook and have been extremely vocal about disagreement with CollectiveShout on this matter. YouTubers such as Vera Dark and Madame Savvy have been pro-freedom of expression since I first discovered them. Both of them are biological women who are 100% against feminist BS and are pro-fictional content. And mind you, both of them have agency, and their opinions are their own. There are so many women who disagree with CollectiveShout's overcorrection attempt at combating the sexualization of women. Yet somehow payment processors have thought it best to listen to a handful of like 40 over-the-hill women whose eggs are dried up. It's too late for them to be mothers, so they instead want to cover their insecurities by becoming the entire planet's mother.
You suck.
You've made an enemy of gamers, and they won't sit idly by after all of this. The pressure from the general public as well as the gamers seem to be having an effect on Mastercard and Visa. Things are not 100% yet, but with the recent executive order from Trump, we now have a fighting chance to get back the entertainment we all know and love. Oh yeah, let's not forget that they're an Australian company too. Why the hell should other countries be influenced by a tiny and insignificant island filled with kangaroo fuckers?
You need to leave!
So what now? Where does that leave us? We must consider the combined impact of the global backlash, ongoing pressure on payment processors, and President Donald Trump's executive order, guaranteeing fair banking for all Americans in order to examine a potential positive outcome to this whole situation. Based on the info I could find, some games have been relisted on various platforms, but it's not enough yet. Mind you, the creators of such content are real people, some with families, mind you. They have very little means of supporting themselves, so they create content that people enjoy to support themselves. However, because a group like CollectiveShout had their feelings hurt of the existence of said content, these creators are now struggling to get paid. The situation is dire. Bills will pile up, rent money will be backlogged, groceries become scarce for them. All because a bunch of stinky feminists got offended by fictional content. This is unacceptable, and we must not stand for it. As most of you are aware, fictional content has always been under attack by groups similar to the collective brain rot. There will always be some puritanical idiot who thinks they know better and will try to make their opinions the problem for content creators. If we ever let them get an inch, we could all face a nightmare world where not just the content we produce being censored, but also our opinions, our privacy, and our overall quality of life can be compromised. If we don't fight this in a legal way, we will be heading towards an extremely grim future where censorship becomes the standard, and everyday citizens like you and me will be prisoners in our own homes. If you think I'm being irrational, just look at what's happening in the United Kingdom. As of the time this video has been uploaded, our freedoms are on the line. This is much bigger than just not being able to goon. But the fight has to start somewhere, and what better way to do that than by protecting our freedom of expression? Thanks for watching. My name is Starlight, and I wish you all a happy gooning session.